Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week. Our planet holds so many wonders, secrets, and treasures waiting to be explored. However, there are some places that are just too dangerous, too protected, too fragile or wild, or maybe even too special to visit. In this video, we're going to show you the top 10 places you're not allowed to visit. Number 10. Coca-Cola Vault, Atlanta, USA. Now, number 10 might seem a bit weird. What could be so precious that Coca-Cola would seal off a vault and refuse to let people in? It's literally just soda, right? Well, you might be wrong on that front. Now, here's something that's quite interesting. The recipe for Coca-Cola is considered one of the best kept secrets in the world, and they keep it secret by stowing it away in a large security vault. Since the recipe was first created in the late 1880s in Atlanta by biochemist John Pemberton, Coca-Cola has jealously guarded it with all they've got. In 2011, the company decided to move the famous Coca-Cola recipe to an Atlanta museum, but while many tourists visit the facilities each year, few and exclusive are the people who can get through the doors of the vault. Number 9. Room 39, North Korea. I really don't think it's possible to miss North Korea on a list of places where you're not allowed to do things. Also referred to as Bureau 39, Office 39, or Division 39, Room 39 is a secretive building that the North Korean government has committed to securing foreign currency for the nation's leaders. Room 39 was created sometime in the late 70s and is said to be located inside the Workers' Party building in Pyongyang, taking its name, according to some sources, from the office it occupied at the party headquarters in its early days. The organization is estimated to bring in between $500 million to $1 billion per year or more, and may be involved in illegal activities such as counterfeiting $100 bills, producing controlled substances, sales of weapons, and even international insurance fraud. Although there isn't much official data on the room due to the secrecy of its activities, still, we'll never really know because this is one of the most secret organizations in arguably the world's most secretive state. Number 8. North Sentinel, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. North Sentinel Island is one of the Andaman Islands, an archipelago in the Bay of Bengal, which also includes South Sentinel Island. While the rest of the islands in this archipelago are somewhat larger and better known, North Sentinel, full of mangroves and surrounded by coral, has remained virtually untouched by the outside world. It might sound like paradise, but the island couldn't be further from it. This island remains one of the most untouched because it's inhabited by one of the world's few remaining uncontacted tribes. The indigenous people of this island, referred to as the Sentinelese, have had practically no influence from the modern world, as they have voluntarily rejected any contact from the outside or modern world. For as long as history has kept record, every encounter with the population has been met with violence. In 2006, they killed 2 fishermen whose boat had been dragged by the current to their shores. In fact, in more recent probes, it seems that the Sentinelese have put up a 3-mile restriction zone that crosses the island to prevent visitors from entering the territory. With those kinds of measures, it's no wonder that the Indian government has stopped trying to make contact with them. Honestly, I'd say just leave them alone too. Number 7. Snake Island, Brazil. Off the coast of Brazil, there is a beautiful island with tropical weather, rainforests, and a great coastline. It's too bad neither you or anyone else can really go there. Formerly known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, Snake Island is deemed an uninhabitable island that is located just off the Brazilian coastline, roughly 20 miles from the shore of Sao Paulo. Estimates claim that there is 1 snake for every 3 square feet in some spots. Wondering how all those snakes got trapped there? It's said that the snakes got trapped on the island when rising sea levels covered up the land that connected to the mainland. Ilha da Queimada Grande is also the home to the world's most dangerous snake, the golden lancehead snake, whose venom eats through flesh and can kill in an hour or less. The Brazilian government has restricted access to the island and only grants visits to the Navy to look after the lighthouse, and these visits are always conducted with a doctor present, as bites can cause internal bleeding, kidney failure, and certainly death. You might think the restrictions are for the protection of people, but the real reason the island is closed to the public is to protect the critically endangered snakes from poaching, as these snakes are so rare that snake smugglers sell them for up to $30,000 on the black market. Number 6. Bangar Fort, India. Now we're taking a long trip from South America to India again. Between Jaipur and Alwar in Rajasthan lie the ruins of what many would describe as one of India's most splendid kingdoms. Bangar Fort was built by the ruler of Amber Kashwa for his youngest son in the late 1500s. Historians claim that the fort bustled with life and people until its population started dwindling gradually in 1783 when a fierce famine came, ultimately forcing the villagers still living there to flee. Local legends state that the reason for the kingdom falling into ruin after the famine chased its people out was that the fort was cursed. And what do we do when things are said to be cursed? That's right, we leave them alone. The Indian government seems to think so too. The Bangar Fort is the only legally recognized haunted place in all of India, as a government permit is required to gain access to the fort before dawn or after sundown. The fort is now said to be the home to wild, nocturnal animals like tigers and whatnot. No one really knows what goes on there at night, but I wouldn't be too eager to go over and find out if I were you. Number 5. Surtsey Island, Iceland. 57 years ago, in the Vestmannaeyjar archipelago off the southern coast of Iceland, a volcanic eruption began 130 meters below sea level and resulted in the formation of an island called Surtsey Island. Scientists had the unique opportunity to observe the birth and evolution of an ecosystem from almost nothing. This fascinating event is precisely what makes its access restricted to the rest of the world. Known as one of the youngest islands on the planet, Surtsey is off limits because researchers don't want anyone or anything external to interfere with the evolution process. Due to water and wind erosion, the island has been decreasing in size since then. Research by the Surtsey Research Society has estimated that according to the current rate of erosion, Surtsey could be at sea level by the year 2100. Number 4. Poveglia, Italy. Located in northern Italy between Venice and Lido, within the Venetian lagoon, there is something you should see. Or not see, you know what I mean. Poveglia is a small island that has been many things, seen many things, and heard many things throughout history. Poveglia has served as a fort, a shipping checkpoint, a quarantine station for the bubonic plague, and lastly, a psychiatric hospital. So this island would certainly have seen a lot of death and tragedy, hence why the psychiatric hospital was closed down in 1968, and the island was abandoned. The reason for closing down the asylum and abandoning the island might be exactly what you're thinking. Poveglia has long been considered one of the most haunted places on Earth. Many claim that the island is haunted by the ghosts of plague victims, war victims, and the ghost of the murderous asylum doctor roaming the decaying grounds. In a bid to put the wasting land to use, any use, the Italian government offered the island up for a long-term lease, 99 years in 2014, in the hope that someone would redevelop the land. So far, no one has taken them up on the offer, and honestly, can you blame them? Number 3. Vatican Secret Archive, Italy. If you're a real history buff, paying a visit to the Vatican's secret archives might sit at the very top of your bucket list. Sadly, it most probably will never get ticked off. Buried and hidden deep within the walls of Vatican City, and several feet deep in the ground, are the Vatican's secret archives, which are home of the immense history and the acts of the Holy See, along with historic documents, state papers, papal account books, and other official correspondence, some of which are said to go as far back as the 8th century. Imagine all that historical yumminess all in one place. However, if you're a tourist, journalist, student, or even amateur historian, you're still out of luck, as only carefully accredited scholars can get their hands on unique documents, like the 1493 papal bull that split the New World between Spain and Portugal, or the petition asking for the annulment of King Henry VIII's marriage to Catherine of Aragon in 1530. Number 2. Moscow Metro 2. Somewhere in Russia, rumor has it that something incredible is going on down under Moscow. In the informal name of an often talked about secret underground metro system, which is said to parallel the public Moscow Metro, the system was supposedly built, or at least started, during the time of Joseph Stalin and was codenamed D6 by the KGB. Stalin's extreme paranoia was said to have initiated the construction of Moscow's infamous Metro 2, an extensive underground tunnel network extending from the Kremlin to KGB outposts and Stalin's outer city residences. Nobody regular has seen, heard, or been to Metro 2, and even if they could locate it, it's a no-brainer that it's definitely off-limits.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck.
Number 1. Area 51, USA. Area 51 is arguably one of the most secretive places on Earth. Also called Groom Lake, the United States Air Force Base's purpose remains unknown to the public, leading to wild speculations and conspiracy theories. It's commonly thought that top-secret aircraft and weapons technologies have been developed and tested in Area 51 since the facility was established by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in 1955. Others believe that the area is home or prison to UFOs. Although Area 51 was never declared a secret base, it took until 2005 for the US government to publicly acknowledge its existence. Typical government behavior, if you ask me. Access to the area around Groom Lake, controlled by surveillance and motion sensors, is off-limits to civilians, and the airspace above is a no-fly zone for commercial aircraft. What does that tell you? We have come to the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more amazing content.